Hello and welcome to FPL Neutral. This is Ram. This is my Gameweek 11 team selection video. I have two free transfers and I've actually used both of them. So let's see what I did. First of all, I haven't uploaded a video for 2 game weeks now. I know it's a new channel and still trying to figure out what I'm doing with this channel. I didn't upload for multiple reasons. I had some travel and things, other things got hectic. But I also want to try to see what I want to do with this channel as well. So uh, I have been having doubts about whether I have good opinions or whether people care about my opinions. But one thing I've realized at least is that the one thing that I can actually speak about is my own team, right? That is a very personal journey that I'm going through, that we're all going through as FPL managers this season. And the thought processes and what dilemmas that you have with your own team is something so personal to you that you're absolutely fine talking about it. So that's at least what I want to continue doing. That's when I want to get back to active video making. So my looking back, going ahead to how I'm shaping up in game week 11, I have all three chips left, like the except the wild card. I have my triple captain, my bench boost, and my free hit left. So it could be an exciting few weeks. So let's jump right in. Let's look at how I did in game week 10. I got 86 points, a pretty good green arrow. After a while, it's been a bunch of very gray arrows for 3 weeks or so. So very happy to get a green arrow up to 689k now. That's a pretty very happy with that rank to be in after game week 10. Uh, the one transfer I did this week was to sell João Pedro to Mateta. Ended up being a flat transfer because both of them ended up with 9 points. But I'm very happy to have Mateta for the longer term. João Pedro, the troll that he is, blanked and didn't even take shots for so many weeks and finally ended up with a goal. Could have had so much more there. So, but very happy, especially the defense and the keepers came through with points all around. Gabriel is just a monster. Raya, I know he's going to keep getting 6 pointers. I'm happy, but the other Timber or Calafiori are not haven't got the attacking returns in recent weeks. But at least it's not worth a transfer out. So very happy to keep Raya there because my other defenders are playable as well, right? Munoz came away with a clean sheet the first week I'm playing him. Hopefully the attacking returns come because that's why we paid the premium. But 6 points, can't complain. Anderson, there was an injury scare last week, but still came through, had a good fixture, so came through with the 6 points there. Midfield was the most disappointing, I would say, at least over the weekend, because Enzo Fernandez, Semenyo, and Gordon, man. Gordon has been my worst decision this season because I sold Mbomo in game week 8, who had when he was playing Liverpool away to Gordon, and you know how that has gone. Mbomo smashed it since. Gordon's been an absolute disaster, especially this week with a halftime sub. That was really bad and looks like an injury scare in the Champions League as well. So possibly out of my team. But of course, in Monday night, NDI came up with a goal, and that was great. He's been one of my best picks on the game week 6 wildcard. 2 goals since then, so 9 points from India is great. Forward line delivered as well. Haaland captain continues to do amazing. 13 points. It's he's just too good now. He's just almost a perma cap play now. And Mateta, my transfer in, great header for the goal, and Palace look good. Although let's see how, with the lack of rotation and the amount of fixtures they have coming up, hopefully he plays all minutes. But Mateta looks solid. And Gyökeres, I transferred him in game week 4, kept him on the wild card. It is somebody I was betting on all season, hadn't delivered at all, but at least this week he finally came up with a goal, but then got substituted early, got injured, and possibly a farewell gift. At least 7 points is a decent farewell gift, but looks like he's out for game week 12 now, 11 now, and so possibly out of my team. Uh, Nothing to talk about the bench there. So that's how the team did, 86 points. And now let's look at how. Go on to game week 11, right? Now let's first just have a quick look at the fixture ticker for the next 5 weeks. Because why 5 weeks? Because game week 16 we get the five we get all topped up to 5 free transfers because of the AFCON move. So let's, as a bunch of five fixtures from game week 11 to 15, I think it's a good batch to take. Now first up, Crystal Palace are right at the top with Brighton, Wolves, United, Burnley, and Fulham. That's a great fixture run. I have Mateta and Munoz already. I think they're two of the possibly the best two. Ismail Assar is the other one that I'm considering. Of course, I'll go through my transfer plans later. Definitely somebody I'm considering, maybe not this week, but next week to bring in. but Palace are definitely great assets to have in your team. Manchester United are second in the list, and I don't have any right now, and that's, I feel, the biggest missing piece in my team right now is the lack of Manchester United. I had Mbomo; he was my big differential move in my game week 6 wildcard, but the idiot that I am sold him in game week 8. But that's part of it. Gordon hasn't delivered. Those things happen. But do I really have to go back to a Manchester United midfielder? Bruno is expensive. Mbomo is okay, but he'll go for AFCON soon. And the fixtures, although they're good long term, I would say over the next three you take, it's still Spurs away and Palace away in the next three fixtures, which I feel are not as easy. I know Spurs didn't really do well against Chelsea, but they're still a good team this season under Thomas Frank. I feel game week 14, 15 as a batch of two with West Ham at home and Wolves away could be a good entry point and a good 2 week punt if when you're getting the 5 free transfers in game week 16 anyway. So let's see then. Bournemouth continue to be high up on the ticker. Semenyo has been a little disappointing recently, but the fixtures are there. So you'd like to keep him maybe in game week 14 or 15. It could be an exit point for maybe a United midfielder for me in my team. That's something I'm considering. But for now, Semenyo is good. Brighton are there. Definitely a team to consider. A lot of people looking at Minte, people looking at Welbeck up front. So Minte especially is on my radar, and I'll talk through my transfer plans where I have a path to reach to Minte as well. Liverpool are the very interesting one. Of course, this week you have a tough fixture of City away, but the next set, even beyond this game week 15, is a really good fixture set. But who do you really go for? I think Salah at that price, it's almost, you have to rip apart your team. Is it really worth it? He goes for AFCON later anyway. I think the two picks that are good are Virgil van Dijk in defense and Soboslai in midfield. Soboslai feels like he can do well at that price because he's playing, getting the minutes, he's getting this, he has the set pieces to get the routes to points. He's good for DEFCON as well. So we'll talk about Soboslai as well later. So Liverpool, somebody you should be considering, especially in game week 12 onwards. Everton are decent. I'm happy to have NDI, especially for this week. But after this week, the fixtures do get a little difficult, and NDI does go for AFCON as well. So uh, and then you have City, of course. Again, Haaland seems like the only play there, and Newcastle as well. Newcastle's burnt me with the Gordon pick, but maybe game week 15 is where I might consider Newcastle again if I'm exiting Gordon. So that's, I don't want to go through the fixture ticker more, but that's the primarily the big teams that we are looking to target. And of course, let's quickly look at how the numbers, the market odds are facing. This is from Rob T FPL, the goat of market odds from Solio Analytics. It's a really amazing graphics every week and gives you a good picture of what to expect going forward, which players to, what the markets are expecting, right? So you can see the projected goals figures for the next 6 weeks. Liverpool right at the top with 12.3 projected goals over the next 6 weeks. Of course, this week the number is low. So game week 12 onwards, you can see those numbers there: 2.3, 2.2, 2.4. That's terrific numbers from next week onwards. So getting into the Liverpool attack next week is something that you can all consider. But the picks, where do you really go there? Because Soboslai, outside of Soboslai and maybe Salah, that how far? Because I don't think Gakpo is nailed. I don't think Wirtz is nailed. I don't think uh, any of the others you see, because even up front, Kichike, we're not sure because Isaac could be back. So where do you really go there? We're not sure, but Soboslai looks like the most safest pick at the moment. Arsenal continue to have terrific numbers. So uh, game week 13 they have the Chelsea away fixture, but outside of that they still have good numbers otherwise. So a Saka or a Rice even like have are good picks to go for. City continue to have great figures. I know I have my triple captain left, and I am eyeing playing it on Haaland in one of these weeks. You can look at game week 13 when City projected to score 2.3. Game week 15 City are projected to score 2.5. So those seem like good triple captain windows for me, and I'm sure I'll play it in one of those. So let's see. And United numbers look solid as well. As we spoke about, Mbomo is a good upside, high upside pick. Bruno is a solid pick, which will get you multiple routes to points. All that. I don't think beyond that. Cunha, I'm not sure. If he nails down a spot a little more, gets more minutes over the next weeks, maybe you could consider Cunha in game week 14 as well. Or so maybe. Newcastle, I think, with the fixture congestion coming up, with they have Champions League, all that, and they have some injury concerns. And Eddie Howe is just not a reliable manager for information, so not really sure if I'll go. I'll be looking to buy Newcastle anytime soon. Maybe in game week 15 when they play Burnley, you can consider. Chelsea look good, especially for the next two, right? I have Enzo Fernandez in my team. Anybody holding on to João Pedro, I think it's a solid hold because the next two fixtures of Wolves and Burnley are, you can see the projected goals are pretty good. Enzo Fernandez could be on penalties, so that's there. So and then Palace, Bournemouth, all the teams that we're looking. I'm not even looking at the clean sheet side on the right because I'm not really looking to do any defensive transfers because my defense is solid, okay, and Arsenal are just the ones to target, right? Look at that, look at those numbers at the top. Arsenal defense is just elite, one of the best we've seen. So not really going through the defense. Now let's just have a look at how my team is before I make any transfers. Now, again, as I said in the beginning of the video, I've already made my two free transfers. So I will just reveal that a little later. What are my targets and what the moves I've made. So this is my team before transfers. I have two free transfers in the bank. I have 0.6 million in the bank. So Raya and goal. I know there's been a lot of debate in the community about whether Raya is worth it. Is one of the best Arsenal picks to go for. Uh, and I know that the upside is low there, but I just like the option of having a perma play Arsenal keeper where you can expect a clean sheet in most weeks. And then in defense, you still have the flexibility to uh, bench somebody you don't want to play according to the fixtures. Okay, I have somebody like a Munoz there. So you don't not stuck with playing double Arsenal defenders and then having only one spot to move around. So this way, I can try the upside luck of Munoz, upside of Senesi, or even Anderson, or even Rodon on some weeks and all that. So and Gabriel is just a lock. And more than anything, I know if I'm choosing new, I might not pick Raya. I might go for Timber or Calafiori, but it's not worth a transfer to move them around. So I'm quite happy to hold Raya. Sunderland away is a decent fixture. I know Sunderland have performed well, but they still Sunderland haven't really faced any of Arsenal, Liverpool, or City yet. So they've had good fixtures. Of course, they've done well, but I still think it's a good fixture for Arsenal. Clean sheet should be likely. And now in defense, Gabriel is a lock. I think possibly the second best pick in the game after Haaland at the moment. He's just shitting points, you could say. Just coming away with every week, he just somehow points up glued to him. Defensive contributions, assists, goals, all that, and clean sheets a lock anyway. So Gabriel's a must-have in your team. I'm going with Munoz, of course, playing Brighton at home. A good fixture. It's a good rivalry for them. Hopefully, he comes away with those attacking returns that I've bought him for. That's the premium I've paid over a Lacroix or a Gehi or a Richards, you could say. Lacroix and Gehi came away with attacking returns in their Conference League fixture in the midweek, but hopefully Munoz is the one getting those this week. So we're excited because with the fixture run, I hope he smashes it. And then Senesi over Anderson is a debate that I've been going back and forth on. I think both are okay fixtures this week. I think both are good for DEFCON, of course, and because away fixtures, generally you do tend to get those defensive contributions more. And I think my decision just came down to the fact that I have India in my team who's playing Anderson, so I didn't want my attacker facing my defense. So I'm starting Senesi playing Villa away. I'm expecting Villa to score, so I don't expect a clean sheet, but hopefully comes away with defensive contributions or maybe a 3 or 4 pointer, so that should be solid. And then moving on to my midfield, I have, of course, NDI is yellow flagged in this, playing Fulham at home. But thankfully, as of yesterday, Moyes has confirmed that he's fit, he's trained as normal, he should start. So quite happy. So he's done well for me. Do I keep him long term? I'm not sure because after this week is Fulham at home, which is a good fixture. After this week, the fixtures do turn, and he does go for AFCON later. So I might be looking to consider moving him on in the next week. So I will show you the parts I have. Semenyo playing Villa away. I'm definitely happy to hold him because the high ownership and his routes to points, all that. Although his numbers have dipped a bit in recent weeks and his output has dipped, but at this point it's too early to make that rash decision of moving him away because the next two fixtures are good as well. If you they are playing West Ham at home in game week 12, so that's a great fixture. So I'm not looking to move him on before that. Enzo Fernandez, I bought him in game week 9. Disappointed for me 2 weeks because not returned, but then he still had the chances. He's getting the big chances. He had a good header chance. He might play a little deep, which is not great for his attacking potential, but then he's still quite a talisman of the team. And I think he's on penalties as well because Palmer's still out. João Pedro of course, could take it, but I still think Enzo is first choice in that team. But so, and the fixtures, man, Wolves at home, possibly the best fixture in the league right now. Wolves with an, they just sacked their manager, so uh, like it's a great fixture. And this is, I really hope he can smash it this week. A lot of people are looking to buy him, so I quite glad to have Enzo in place there. And the next week he plays Burnley as well. Maybe after that you can look to sell him, but at least for the next two looks solid. Gordon playing Brentford away, his fitness, of course, is a doubt because he's been picked for England, so maybe he can play. Eddie Howe was quite, uh, as always, he didn't give any information away. So, but I doubt he plays, and and spoiler alert, I've sold him. I already sold Gordon. He's been really frustrating for me. Last 3 weeks, I held him. My original plan was to keep him for this week also, and then sell him in game week 12 when they play City. But then with the injury and with other options coming up, with the Gyökeres injury, I've transferred them both out. So Gordon's gone. I will show you who I bought. Reinders is on my bench in my other fifth midfielder playing Liverpool at home. Another player I'm looking to sell, but at least is benchable at that price. But I am looking to sell him in the maybe next week, or if maybe take a hit to sell him this week. But for my bench, I'm not looking to take a hit for now. So, but Reinders did start in the Champions League. They did play well, but his minutes are a concern. With Cherky's back, you have Foden back, you have Mamouche back, so you have all the lot of names back in the City. uh, Midfield is tight. I think Reinders is first choice, but then the minutes could be dicey, and I wouldn't hesitate to sell him if anybody has a good move to sell to Ismail Assar, to Enzo Fernandez, to any of these players. I think you can sell. Moving on to my forward line, Haaland is my captain for this week. I know it's Liverpool, but it's still at home, and Haaland is in that sort of vein of form, right? Rich, he's just is the ball's coming to him. He knows where the goal is. He's in that. We've seen Haaland in this mode before in the first couple of seasons. Last year it was a slightly dip season. He still scored so many goals, but we know what Haaland is capable of when he has the run of such fixtures. So I don't see anybody else as a viable captaincy option. People are saying Mateta, you could say Enzo, all that, but I still Saka could be a good option if you have him, but I still feel Haaland at home to Liverpool, who've still not hit full stride yet. I know they've improved in the last couple of weeks, but then Haaland is my captain. Mateta playing Brighton at home, possibly the second best forward to have. I think it is objectively the second best forward to have in the game right now. The form, the fixtures, the penalties, all that. I know the fixture congestion is a problem down the line, but until they show any sign of dropping, managing minutes, or any dip in performance, I don't think we need to take any decision there. It's a pretty good solid run of fixtures, so Mateta is solidly in my team. Now Gyökeres, the final, as I said, disappointing, but at least he gave me one goal in his parting gift. But the last many weeks have been disappointing with the injury. He's out of the Sweden squad for the international break, so it looks like he's injured. So I'm gonna sell him. It's not worth waiting for another week. Havertz could be back. His minutes could be managed. So generally, I think it's bye bye for Gyökeres there. So I will show you what parts I have. Now let's look at just how how I'm thinking about my team at the moment. The 15 players I have in my team, I think a lot of them I'm quite happy to keep long term, and my entire backline, that is my keepers and my defense, if you see, I'm quite happy to hold long term. Raya and Dubravka, Gabriel, Munoz, Senesi, Anderson, Rodon, all of them, they have decent fixtures, quite rotatable with their benching decisions for me in my defense, and I don't really need to make a defensive transfer. Virgil van Dijk, I am tempted by, but it's not really worth. I'll have to make money from elsewhere and then move up, and I'm not really keen on doing that at the moment. And in midfield is where I'm really looking to make transfers. Right, midfield is where I have my most issues. Semenyo, at the moment, I'm quite happy with. You definitely, because he's shown this season that he's in that sort of form. I know it's dipped a little, but I'm quite happy to hold Senesi at least, Semenyo for the next 3-4 weeks, I would say, because the West Ham and then and the Sunderland fixture in game week 13, all that. But maybe in game week 15, I think when they play Chelsea, you can look to move him. So we'll see. But happy for now. And then Up front, Haaland and Mateta, solids, not looking to move them anytime soon unless an injury comes about. Now, who are the others? I'm considering maybe selling down the line. NDIA, as I mentioned, is a good fixture this week. Fulham at home is a great fixture. But from next week onwards, he's playing United away. Not a bad fixture. Actually, you can play him. I am looking to maybe bench boost in game week 12. I'll show you my bench boost as well. But maybe a sale to someone like a Soboslai or an Ismail Assar, who's not in my team, who's all in the same price bracket, because NDIA has difficult fixtures going forward and he's going for AFCON. So is possibly a sell anyway down the line. So why not do it when the fixtures change? So NDI for now is good, but let's in my Game Week 12 video we'll talk about more. Enzo Fernandez, as I mentioned, next two fixtures are great, but Game Week 13 he plays Arsenal. But if you can bench him in Game Week 13, I think Game Week 14 he plays Leeds, so you can carry him through that. But maybe down the line, if there are good options emerge, I might look to sell him. But the players I'm ready to sell at the immediately who are like problems, whether it be injury, whether it be lack of form, are Gyökeres, Reinders, and Gordon. And again, as I said, Gyökeres and Gordon, I've already sold. Reinders, I've loved to sell, but I don't have the free transfer, and I can bench him this week, so I'm not looking to sell him at the moment. But the two Gyökeres and Gordon are out. I had two free transfers. I had zero point 0.6, and let's see what the shortlist I considered. These are the players I really considered for going. So my Gyökeres replacement, I wanted to make money. That's the spot in my long term structure of my team. I wanted to take money out of attack and move into midfield. So I wanted to go down. I did consider Welbeck as an option. He's been in terrific form, possibly on penalties as well. Brighton have good fixtures, and but the thing is, he's getting older, and with the fixture congestion coming up, do we really expect Brighton to Welbeck to start every match? And Hurstler as well, he's not really reliable for team information, so there is always that risk of him getting an odd benching there, especially in the Christmas period that's coming up. But still a solid option. And the thing I consider is I think Minte in Brighton is possibly the better option than Welbeck. So my head is going to that I should probably go the Minte route rather than the Welbeck route. But still, I wouldn't mind going for Welbeck there. Second is Thiago, possibly my best option that when in my consideration, because again he's cheaper than Welbeck. He's on penalties, getting playing pretty much all the matches. Now, one advantage that teams like Welbeck and that Brighton and Brentford and all have is they don't have Europe, so the fixtures congestion is not as much. So they should expect them to play most weeks. Now, Thiago's open play threat is good. He's still on penalties. So the Brentford fixtures slightly mixed, but it's quite rotatable with your team. Like if you for example, I have Enzo Fernandez in my team who's playing Arsenal in game week 13, and Thiago plays Burnley at home in game week 13. And when Thiago plays Arsenal away in game week 14, Enzo plays Leeds. So it's quite rotatable with my team. So Thiago is somebody I really am looking at. Brentford don't score too many goals, but they're good at home. So I think they have some decent home fixtures coming up. So that's good. If I want to take more money out of my forward line, Krupi Jr. somebody I considered. I didn't go down to Mark Guiu because I still have my bench boost left, and Guiu is just a dead spot that who probably won't get minutes much. So if I had to go down, I'd probably go for a Krupi Jr. He's been great for Bournemouth, but Evan Nielsen is back. He was on the bench last week, so and even when Evan Nielsen wasn't back, Krupi Jr. wasn't really getting more than 60, 70 minutes in the game. So it is he's not nailed in that as a first choice starter. He's and even if he starts, he gets lower minutes. But as a spot just for 1 week, as a for your bench boost in game week 12 when they play West Ham at home, maybe. So it is somebody I considered. But at the moment, Thiago was my first choice. And then moving on to my midfield replacement, where I was selling Gordon. I had the money to go directly to Saka. So Saka again, because I'm selling Gyökeres, I had an Arsenal spot free. Now it was choice, where do you go for the third Arsenal spot? You could choose not to go there, but it still feels bad to not have the third Arsenal because how the team is doing. So Saka and Rice both were in my consideration. Saka is the one I was leaning towards because first of all he should be on penalties now that Gyökeres is out. You could say he was already on penalties, but now it's most certain. He should get the minutes. Madueke is still injured. And he is a potential captaincy shout, right? Because at the moment, I don't have a Bruno Fernandes or an Mboma in my team. Uh, Outside of Haaland, who do I really feel comfortable about captaining? And if I get Saka, that is a viable captaincy option. Any week that Haaland, we might hear that Haaland is not suddenly bench, shock benching or something like that over the fixture congestion period. Saka as a captain is always there, and I think I like that safety blanket of having that. Bomo, of course, is somebody I considered. I have sold him, so but did looking to bring him back. Of course, he goes away for AFCON, so that's a concern. And he's gone up in price now. He's 8.4. He's not cheap now. But for the fixtures that United have, definitely a good pick to have. Rice, again, showing that initially people laughed at this pick, but he's continuously showing that he's a great pick. He has so many routes to points with the team. Arsenal scoring so many set pieces. Rice has those routes to points and coming away with goal last week. So all that. Now, Soboslai, I mentioned Liverpool's fixtures. Soboslai's routes to points at his price, all that. So I think Soboslai again. Maybe not this week because he's playing City, but next week is somebody I did consider. Ismail Assar is again, I'm sure it's a great fixture for him this week, and I wouldn't be surprised if he smashes it this week as well. I already have my Palace double up. He had a slight issue this week with injury, but I don't think it's a concern because it was mentioned before the midweek game, but he still continued to play anyway. He still scored a couple of goals, so he looks good. I think he will start this week. I wouldn't mind buying there for him, but I still have my Palace double up, so I don't feel that I need him urgently. And Minte is another player I'm definitely considering as a Reinders replacement as well, because this week again Minte doesn't have the best fixture. He's playing Palace away, but maybe Palace after Europe you can be got at. But definitely Minte is somebody that I am looking at. He's got 2 assists last week, and he's at 6 million. At that price, he's really good. Possibly the best player in FPL under 6 million, 6 million or under. So Minte, these are the players that I did consider. Now, what is the transfer I did? It's possibly obvious that you can figure out by now. I sold Gyökeres and Gordon, and I've got in Thiago and Saka. And I will now have 0.7 million in the bank after this move, which will be enough for me to move from Reinders to Minte in game week 12. I'll have 0.2 in the million in the bank then, and I might still consider using that 0.2 to move from maybe an NDI to somebody like a SAR or a Sobers Live. I'll have the money. Of course, I'll have to take a hit for that, a -4 hit. And I'm planning to play my bench boost in game week 12. So I'll show you. Do let me know what you think of this transfer. As I mentioned, Thiago, quite happy to have him for for some of these home fixtures coming up. Burnley and Brighton away, and Newcastle at home this week after they played in Europe is also a decent fixture. And of course, as I mentioned, Saka. I know the returns haven't been there for Saka, but he's had the chances. He had two big chances last week, and he couldn't. He hasn't converted them as much as we wanted. But hopefully a penalty, hopefully open play threat. I think he's a great player. Of course, I love watching Saka, so hopefully he does return. Then finally, let me just quickly go through. I'll just show you what my transfers are. As you can see, in Game Week 11, I've shown the two transfers made. I've brought in Saka, I've brought in Thiago. Of course, I'll be benching Reinders. I'm starting Senesi. Now, if you move to game week 12, I've made one transfer where, as I mentioned, I sold Reinders and I bought in Minte. I'll be starting him, but that doesn't matter because I'm looking to play my bench boost. So my bench boost will be Thiago playing Brighton away, decent fixture, you could say. Anderson playing Sunderland at home, Rodon playing Villa at home, Dubravka playing Chelsea at home, at least a bunch of home fixtures. I think generally the team looks good. But one move I could still do for a hit is that I could still sell Ndiaye, who's playing United away. I could get somebody like a Soboslai, who's for Liverpool's good run of fixtures, who's playing Forest at home here. Of course, you'll take a hit there. And then game week 13 onwards, as I mentioned, you can see Thiago plays Burnley at home. I can immediately sub him on for Enzo's playing Arsenal. Now, of course, I know a lot of people are considering playing their free hit in game week 13. But now that I've bought Thiago, I don't think I'll do that because I got the guy who has a great fixture in game week 13. But I'm looking at free hits maybe in 16 or 18 or something. So we'll talk about that more over the international break. That's the move you could do here in game week 14 as well. You have great fixtures. You have the defense looks good. Burnley, Brentford, Everton, and Brentford again. Soboslai has Sunderland at home. Semenyo has Everton at home. Saka, Brentford. Minte has Villa. And of course, here you can see when Thiago plays Arsenal away, you can still bring back Enzo, who plays Leeds away. So it's a good rotatable fixture. And then In game week 15, you have so many options. You have 3 free transfers. You have to use all of them, because you lose all of them. Basically, you get 5 anyway in game week 16, and there's so many options. Newcastle are playing Burnley's, all that. So I'm not looking to go further into all that. So that's been my team. I've made my 2 free transfers. Do let me know what you think, and any suggestions on the videos, on my team, all that. Please do leave a like in the video, and comment what you think about anything you want. So thank you so much for watching, and good luck to all, and see you soon.